For those that finished the book that you helped, what's the key to being like a bestseller?
I hate that word.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Going in. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Welcome in, everyone. We're back for another episode of Adventures in Business Live. Uh, Mandy, how are we doing today?
Amani, I'm doing great. I'm coming off of a great weekend. I had a lot of dates. This weekend. It was super, super fun.
Oh, okay.
As I'm talking, I need to close this. My Siri is catching all the words I'm saying on my phone. I had Scoot and I went to see the Odyssey on Friday.
Oh,
Have you
okay.
seen it
How was
yet?
it? Not yet. It's kind of maybe on my list.
It's a masterpiece. And I
Okay.
don't even like action movies, but it was beautiful. It was, we all read these books growing
Right.
up in high school or college, and you forget about them. But the way they sort of reminded you, they led you down what you were going to see without leading you down what you were going to see. So it was like subtle hints. It was great. It was beautiful. The acting was great. And I love it's like a low CGI film, like there's not
Hmm.
a ton of overproduction. I mean, there's production, but there's not a lot of digital production. It was beautiful. It was long, but it
Nice.
was beautiful. It was worth it. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. And then we went to candlelight concert on Saturday, and we saw, have you attended one of these candlelight concerts yet?
No, tell
Oh,
me. Tell
Amani,
me.
you got to go as an entertainment man. You got to go. So it's
Yes.
you pick a venue. So we're at the Natural History Museum, and they have candles everywhere. And then it's like a rock band, but like rock music set to string quartet. So it's
Oh, yes.
four strings, right? Like different,
The
cello,
violin,
violin.
cello, the
Yeah,
harp,
yeah,
etc. Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah. Bass.
And this
Yeah.
was it was Coldplay and Imagine Dragons.
Oh,
And so then
yes.
it
Yeah.
felt like students, like each student was like, we're going to play these three songs for you by this person. And then like the next student was like, okay, our next three songs are, it was beautiful.
Hmm.
And it's only 1 hour. It's like
Okay.
awesome
Yeah.
entertainment. Yeah. I felt very
Yeah.
enriched by the time the weekend was over. It was very, very
So
fun.
that feeds into what you've been sharing with us for months, almost over a year, about how like in-person experiences are like more important now than ever.
More important now than ever. And there was probably maybe 100 people in person, curated, small
Yes.
experiences. Yeah. And short.
Yeah.
They don't have to be all
Mhm.
day, like just a quick hour. It was awesome. Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
All right.
What
Well, I'm
about
back
you? Yeah. Tell me.
from DJ. I was at DJ Camp Spinoff, which we just did a mini on. I
Yeah.
was there. Before that, I was in Nashville for Brand Builders Group Accelerator Group, and then I was in DC visiting family and friends.
Yeah.
So I've been on the run. I've
What
been on the road.
What'd you get from brand builders? Like, what was your takeaway? And again, for
Oh,
those who may not listen all the time, we talk about brand builders all the time. But explain what brand builders is, and then what
right.
was this particular session about for you?
So Brand Builders Group, Rory and AJ Vaden, Hall of Fame speakers, and they've been helping me with my book launch and my coaching program. And so this was another accelerator so I can learn because, we both practice investing in ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And this one, I think the main learning, there's probably three. The first one I'll share is like trying to extend the life of your book because they have a book that came out last July a year ago, and their goal is to sell 1 million copies.
Mm-hmm.
And it was interesting because before the curriculum was more so focused on you do the book, you release the book, and then kind of that's it. But they've kind of shifted because they're experiencing it right now in terms of leading, just continuing the life cycle of a book. And so that was probably the biggest takeaway because that was a shift. And I love that because, my book's been out for over a year. I'm trying to extend the life of it. I'm working on this board game and then the documentary.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of fed in. That made me happy to hear them talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second thing was a lot of people are like, I've written the book. I've got my coaching program. I'm speaking. What's next?
Mm-hmm.
So it's really interesting to hear about how they really said you might not need something new next. It's just really refining and honing in on what you already have working. that was probably the second most interesting thing. And so maybe we do another mini on that because I have my notes here. Got my little notebook, and I have lots of things written. So that could be another mini. But those are the top two that come to mind right away.
I love that. It's like
Because
what we talk about with content: repurpose, repurpose, repurpose.
yes,
Yeah.
because this accelerator was people who've been part of the community for either in 3 years or more.
Mm-hmm.
So it was people who are experienced in the community too, which was really interesting.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, because the conversations are different.
Yes.
Like the farther on
Yes.
you got. I get it. Well,
Yes.
speaking of books and coaching
Yeah.
and documentaries, this is an awesome transition to our guest who is the author of books and she's also an author of globally widely read essays. She's a podcaster. She's the founder of A Delicious Life, where she travels the world hosting women to deep dive into living their highest selves. Welcome to the show, Kim O'Hara.
Yes. We give you a round of applause. Hopefully you hear it.
Welcome, Kim. It's good to see you.
So good to be here. Oh my God, I have so many things to say about your intro. I was just like in the back going, oh yeah.
What would you say? What would you say? Like, what came to mind when Amani was talking?
Well, first of all, like in the last couple of years, I've completely embraced the DJ experience, and I go see international DJs. Like I did a one night stopover in Barcelona to see Eric Pritz at a festival. So I was excited, Amani, to hear you talking about DJing. I mean, I saw Dom Dalla in Vegas. Like I'm I'm in there, and some of the venues are great. I like the outside venues because there's just more space to dance around. The inside venues are a little bit more like everyone's 25 and like doing cocaine. And should I not say that on the show?
Oh, you say anything. You say it all.
And I'm way past that. I'm more like, how am I going to get up in the morning?
Yeah.
So. But and I love the candlelight, just how much like you guys are doing so much. Like I don't even think you realize it. You're like, yeah, this was just this weekend. You know what I mean? And that's the life. Like that's leaning in, right, and being curious about everything you want to be and do in your life, whether it's socially doing the candlelight. And I saw the candlelight. I can't remember who I saw. That's so bad. I don't remember. I feel like it was Fleetwood Mac.
Oh, that's on my list.
But yeah, 1 hour in and out, candles, Biltmore Hotel in downtown LA, lots of red velvet, Valentine's Day. I was like, come on. It was like $30.
Yeah.
It was like amazing.
Yeah.
Go back to the DJ. Who would be your favorite top 3 DJs?
Well, I have to see David Guetta in Ibiza.
Okay, David
like
Guetta,
it's like it's bucket list. Even though he's already right. Like it still would be cool to see him. And I there's an event we have here, like outside of LA in San Bernardino County called Nocturnal Wonderland. And that's kind of where you discover women DJs. So I'd like to see, there's like a couple female DJs that I'd like to see. I haven't really, to be honest, I haven't researched enough. These are just the people that end up on my radar. Like someone will be like, oh, you like that kind of music? Go see Dom Dalla. And yeah, it's often guys. So I'd like to see a woman like really take down the house.
Ooh.
Okay, they're out there.
Any suggestions? Any suggestions?
Well, let me see here. We had Danny Deal was at camp. Let me think who other female DJs. Of course, I'm biased. Tina T is amazing.
Tina T?
Yeah,
Tina T.
but I'm not sure she would do festivals, but she's dope DJ too. I think Alice in Wonderland is good. You have hold on, I gotta look at my list here. There's a bunch out there that you can watch and listen to.
Okay.
Let me keep thinking.
Okay.
I'll keep thinking of
thinking,
more.
Keep thinking.
While you're thinking, I want to pay Kim a compliment because I just attended one of Kim's events, her Delicious Life event. And this was an event, my friend Lori, Kitty Cat, Amani, I think you've met Kitty. I call her Kitty. Her name's Lori. Kitty said, hey, do you want to go to this event? She told me a little bit about the first one she went to, but like, I didn't even ask any questions. She's like, it's an event for women at Fathom. I'm like, sign me up. I'm in. And I didn't ask any more questions. And I showed up and it was A Delicious Life. And there were journals at every place setting. And Kim ran this event in a way that made me feel like I could be open with everybody, but it also challenged me to think like, what can I do to just really live on my highest vibration and my most joyful self. And then at the end of the event, we all held hands in a circle around a tree which it took like everything in me not to ask people to do
cringe.
a people pyramid. No, all
right,
these people were there. I'm like, it's like breeding ground for a people pyramid, but it wasn't my event. And I also knew like Kitty was probably worried about like the liability at Fathom. So I was just like, it took everything in me because I was on such a high from that event, and you did such a good job curating that. So I kind of want to start with that. So first, thank you for creating that event. It personally impacted me. But second, like, what is a delicious life and what are these events all about?
So I'm being currently schooled by my trademark attorney to call it Delicious Life.
Okay.
And to start to teach people that's what it is, Delicious Life.
Yeah.
It could be but right now it's Delicious Life.
Okay, got it.
And under the Delicious Life micromedia umbrella is these curated specialty events called Exhale, Put Yourself First, which says it all. Take a deep breath, exhale, and spend 2.5 hours thinking about someone else, thinking about yourself versus everybody else that you're thinking about all the time. And we don't realize we have this undercurrent going on constantly in our psyche, in our brain, in our nervous system of all the things we got to do all the time for everybody else, just to keep up. And we check out of source, which is our internal artistry and our internal creativity and really our intuitive knowing of exactly what it is we need to do. We don't believe it. We lose over the course of life. By the time you're in your 40s and 50s, you've lost complete connection to your original source that really drove a lot of what you wanted to do. It just got like flattened by society, conditioning, all the stuff, parenting, taking care of aging parents, all the stuff. And so it's an opportunity for women to turn it off, see what that feels like, and then make a decision. Like you can go back into the cray cray, or you can try something new. And it doesn't require a lot, as you saw. You just had to take a journal and write down 4 fun, joyful things you were going to do for yourself in self-kindness next month, and then be accountable to it. So have you done your thing? Did you do your Julys?
Yeah, I'm actually looking at, I wish I could, I'll take a picture and show you, but so Amani makes me make a bingo card every 6 months. So I've got the Amani bingo card. And then underneath.
Good job, Amani. Good job.
I have Delish. It says Delish. And I've got my July. I'm going to finish my 2 saunas this week. And I ate a mortadella sandwich. I went on a summer drive and sang at the top of my lungs, and I wandered around the mall. Those are my 3 things. And then I wanted to do a sauna, and I'll do those this week when I'm in Vegas. So
So the next, you're more like, you are an open spirited person who's already built from a space that this is an easy click over for you. I'm not saying there isn't some mental work.
Yeah.
But imagine a woman who's not there.
Yeah.
And imagine the click over. It's hard, like getting on a bike and riding it around the block and like believing you have the right to do that for like 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And I find women will buy the bike, but then they won't ride it.
Yeah.
Or they'll buy the stack of books and then they won't read them. Or they'll research the trip they're going to go on themselves and then they won't go. And so it's like, I'm trying to use the little delicious things that you can do every day to kind of fill that gap and that chasm, so that doesn't feel like such a huge leap anymore.
Yeah. So why is that?
It's game changing. It's changed my life.
Yeah.
And I don't want to interrupt you, Amani, but it's gotten me through really hard times.
Yeah.
Okay. Why is that? Like, why do people struggle with taking action?
It's not action, because action is considered like, go get 'em, girl. Like, do that coaching program, or go to that like Tony Robbins weekend, or like bonanza it out. We have a misconstrued image of what action is, right? So I try to get rid of words like action and goals and like all that stuff. And I just try to say, like, do something that's like a random act of self-kindness for yourself, because it's like compound interest. The more you do it, the more value grows. And next thing you know, you find yourself going, wait, why can't I do this thing I wanted to do? This is ridiculous. And that's why it's so important to do just the little things, because we often will leap to the big things and then we we can't do them because we don't have the mental stamina and the internal self-worth.
What's up, everybody? It's Amani coming to you. I want to share with you information about my new group coaching program. If you are a 9-to-5 creative, meaning you work a 9 to 5, but you also have some artwork that you want to monetize and get out there, you could be a musician, an author, a painter, whatever. You're a 9-to-5 creative and you want to monetize your artwork, come and talk to me. You can go to amaniexperience.com/call, fill out the form. I'd love to talk to you about some in-person or virtual group coaching. Thank you very much. I'll see you all soon.
Can we go to that hard time really? Because you just mentioned like some of this helped you rise like a phoenix, like out of the ashes. Like, are you comfortable with sharing like what was one of those hard times that led you to discover the importance of the self-kindness?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little bit getting to the other side of this, which makes me a perfect, spokesperson, right? Because sometimes when you're in it too much, you can't teach it.
Yeah.
So I'm on the other side of it to a degree. I'm not 100%. But I signed up for a belief system as a woman in America that I needed to make a certain amount of money, that I needed to break a glass ceiling, that I needed to own a bunch of homes, that I needed to have a business, that I needed to raise my kids as a single parent perfectly without any hiccups. And it created a lot of stress and a lot of stress, a lot of self punishing language that would go on in my head. You're not good enough. You're not worthy enough. You're never going to get it right. Yet at the same time accomplishing, it's just a terrible place to be. And the only thing that would take me out of that would be like laying on the couch in this, like on a Sunday when I didn't have my kids from like 2 to 4 and listening to like Cuban music and letting like the breeze blow over my face and just being like, oh, I'm human. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not, like, I get to do, who told me I can't, I don't, because I think when you're a parent of younger kids, and I know not everybody on the show has this, but you have some version of something you're taking care of, whether it's a job you're working 70 hours at or aging parents or something, where you just are so caught up in it that there's never seems to be a break. And then every break seems to be like you think you're doing something for yourself, but you're still really doing it for someone else. And you lose the thread of what it feels like to just do something for yourself. That's scary.
Yeah.
That's scary when you realize that. So I tried to tap in a lot into that. And it's kind of what saved me probably from having, I don't know. It kept me going. Kept me going.
It's beautiful.
Okay. I want to kind of make a transition because I want to ask you about book coaching.
Okay.
And we have authors that are here in presence and as well as listening. Also, we have 2 best-selling authors. I want to read a stat to you first, and then I want to ask you another question about bestsellers.
Okay.
So New York Times did a survey. 81% of people in America want to write a book.
Right.
4% of those people will actually start the book. 4% of that 4% will finish the book.
Right.
Why is it so hard for people to finish a book?
I mean, I'll answer this question because I did it for 11 years, but I've been out of book coaching now for a full year. So I'm just going to tell you what I know that I saw. I don't really know if it helps anybody to hear me talk about it because you need a coach. I'm always going to say that.
Yeah,
like
no, you're right,
everyone
you're
that
right.
came to me was like, I did this writing weekend and I did this writing seminar and I pantsed it on my own and I was like, yeah, but now you're with me. So why did it take you 7 years to get here?
Yeah.
Like people don't want to spend the money. People don't want to believe they need a coach. I should just be, because we have all these images of the writers that are just prolifically pounding out books. And what you were saying before when I was in the green room was really, interesting. But when you write a book, you have to be with it for the rest of your life. It is not just 1 year. It is not just 5 years. It is the rest of your life. If you write a shitty book, you ain't doing anything with that book. But if you write a book where you go deeply into all those questions, why am I writing this book? Why do I want to do it this book? What does this represent about me? It'll like open doors for you. I've had people that have written books with me that have never seen the light of day, that spent a year with me. And that is not because they didn't do 3 drafts of a book and get to the finish line. They said, you know what? I've done the work. I'm complete. I don't actually need to publish this book. I know exactly what I need to do now. I'm clear.
Okay.
So, you know, for me, I wanted to see everybody publish that I helped. And I had to accept that there were a lot of people that don't need to.
Yeah.
So those stats are very like, they're so not individualized. They're so not like emotional. They're so not like helpful in any way. I mean, I think to each his own with book writing. You want to finish the book, finish the book. You don't want to finish the book, be okay with it.
Okay. For those that finished the book that you helped, what's the key to being like a bestseller?
I hate that word. I really do. First of all, you can buy your way onto the New York Times bestseller list. You can buy your way onto USAA Today. You can buy, it's money. You're going to buy your way to where you go.
Mm-hmm.
The more marketing money, the more eyeballs, the more lists. So that's not to say there aren't a ton of books that have gotten there legit, right? And bestseller is you selling your books. People like hear that. They're like, oh, I'm going to become a bestseller. Okay, well, what are you going to do to be a bestseller? Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm going to get an agent, and then I'm going to get a publisher, and then my book's so good that everybody's going to read it, and it's going to be a bestseller. No, you got to go hustle your butt off.
Yes.
And then nobody wants to buy your book. Really? I mean, who really wants to buy your book? I mean, come on. Like, I mean, it's sad to say, but like the people that are selling hundreds of thousands of, books, I mean, there's not that many of them really. I mean, people sell about, if you sell 5,000 books, you're a bestseller as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. High five, Amani. We did that.
Yes,
you
did that.
Okay,
so you guys are bestsellers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now I did make the USA. I did make the USA Today, but I didn't pay for it. I had to hustle. For it.
That's fantastic news.
Yeah.
That's fantastic news. So I just got out of book coaching because I did it for 11 years. It was adjacent to a career as a movie maker. It wasn't really me breaking 100% free from like being bound to something I thought I had to do. Again, it got me all this cash and prizes, most of which I don't even have anymore. So I'm not going to say it was wasted time because I had to grow up during those 11 years. But I do think Permission and Delicious Life were literally growing under the surface that entire time. So if I come out of the gate now and in January I have an event and all of a sudden I'm building this thing and it's going to take off, wow, that's fast. No, it hasn't been fast.
Okay. I got to go back to the DJ, female DJs. V-Tech, love V-Tech. She's good. Also, yeah, so like her, Honey Dijon, based out of Chicago. Ooh. She's good. Peggy Ju or G-O-U. She's also good. And then Nora Impura.
All right.
And then also, I always shout out Spinderella, who is Salt and Pepper's DJ.
Yeah.
So always
she's still around?
Yes.
She's
absolutely.
Still around?
And she has a daughter who's a DJ also.
Oh, wow. Okay, this is a treasure trove of female DJ-ness.
Oh,
Thank
there
you.
You go. You just put it out
Back
there.
To you, Mandy.
Kim, you went delicious.
No, I know. I just put it out there.
You put it
put it out there.
You did.
Yeah.
I want to go back. I want to go to more of the business model of Delicious Life because you had said under the media umbrella and then events is one of them. So can you just talk a little bit about the business of Delicious Life? Like what products or services do you offer under that umbrella?
Sure. One thing I am not doing with Delicious Life is I'm not listening to people who tell me I have to create programs if I don't want to. That's number one, because I had that stuff down my throat as a book coach.
Yeah.
And I spent so much money for things that worked. I don't know. So I am feeling through what that needs to be from a service point and also from serving thousands. If I can't serve thousands, I'm not 100% sure I want to do it on a membership model.
Yeah.
Like a bigger, like a phone call every month or like a Zoom, right? Because I really want this out. I think Delicious Life is not just like a silly, simple, let's go have fun model. It is really helping women to get healthier and less depressed and anxious and sad and just locked down, right? So it's a global, that's why I feel like it's a global movement. So right now it's the events, and I'd like to bring these events, like you talked about, Lori, our mutual friend, bringing me to San Diego, inviting 15 women, and then giving the stage to me to do my thing. That's what I want to replicate in all suburban rings around major cities in the US.
Yeah.
So any woman that's like outside Chicago, in Chicago, that's like, you know what? I know women that need this. I'm in transition. I need this. I would like to throw this event, bring me out there, then ticket prices get a little higher maybe, because right now they're really low. And I think that they can be higher for this intimate in real person, in real life event. And then the membership model, a book, it's about as far as I'm just intuitively moving on this thing, speaking to health and wellness ERGs at companies that have women's initiatives to talk to women about taking better care of themselves while they're working at these companies. That's something I see myself getting paid tens of thousands of dollars for. So
yeah. Well, I what I loved about what you did was I posted about it, and then all these women from all over the country were like, I want to do Delicious Life in my town. I want to do Delicious Life in my town. And I was like trying to tag you on all of those, because I know like one woman was in Boise, Idaho, and another woman. And I do think that is an interesting model, because I think so many times when we do these events, we think as the organizer, we have to be the one that promotes it. But when you align with somebody who already has a network in that community, and you're just bringing you're bringing the entertainment, so to speak, like you're bringing the impact, but it's the actual person in that community. I think there's a business lesson in there because then that person's curating the type of people that can all be in a room together. Because how many times have you been in a situation where you go to these things and it's just like so many different types of
misalignment?
It's misalignment. Yeah. So I think for me, what that business lesson was like, pick somebody in that community that already has a network that will just come, and then you are the facilitator. I loved that. I thought that was a takeaway from what I watched, from what you did.
That's 100% what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I am standing by. I'm bringing the goods.
Yeah.
That is enough.
Yeah.
I'm bringing the philosophy. I'm bringing all the thought, energy, and time behind making that experience a great experience. I'm bringing the curation of that event. And you are going to provide the people, and yeah, that is a model that I really, and I want it to become a conference, right? So then all the satellite events that are around the US that have happened gather for one conference, right? That is, and then people are like, well, what are you going to sell at the conference? I'm like, I know that I'm supposed to be thinking about that. But it's so annoying.
Also,
it's like I'm not even there yet.
Also, it feels like that. As a conference organizer myself, like somebody who's planned literally thousands of conferences over 28 years, when you're at a conference and the intention is to sell something at the conference, you feel that. Like,
I can't stand
it.
But
when the intention is to grow each other and be better and lift each other up, like people will buy anything, but they're actually buying from each other is what you really want. That's the power of your network, is like they're investing in each other, whether that's personally or professionally.
Yeah. Right. Like, why can't the conference be like enough? Why do I have to create, videos? And I mean, look, if something organically comes up and I hear from women, can you please do this? That's when I believe you're like, yes, I'm going to do that because I'm being asked for that.
Yeah.
It's the jumping the gun because you want to monetize, right? And you're like, sure, I'd love to build a legacy business I can sell. It's possible with a membership model to do that. It's possible with an event model to do that.
Yeah.
Someone can come in and buy the business. I would like to do that. Book coaching, that was not possible. When it's just you, it's a job. So I don't want a job. I want a legacy. I want a model. So that's what I'm trying to be very conscious about building now, and not jumping on something that's going to make me in a job again.
I like the accountability piece too. And Amani, really quick, it was like we had to pick 4 things each month for like the next 3 months that we would consider like a random act of kindness for ourselves, or that like we considered delicious. And then we had to write it down, and we shared them if we wanted to, but then she created a WhatsApp group, and now we're all sharing in the WhatsApp group, like, oh, I did this today, I did that today. I think the action and the accountability is important too.
Well, they are not sharing in the accountability group. That's the point, is then you look at something like that, you offer something for free, and then you're like, they don't even want to respond in the free WhatsApp group. Okay, so that's not going to be the model, because I'm not wasting my time posting in a WhatsApp group every week to crickets.
Yeah.
It's just not going to happen. You don't want it? That's fine. I don't have time for it.
Yeah.
So then you make your paid membership, $35 a month.
Yeah.
Now maybe there's a little skin in the game at 35. It's amazing how women will come. And I'm not speaking about myself, but I hear this from a lot of women. I'm paying $50 a month and I'm not getting enough. It's like, wow, it's only $50, but you get it. You're like, now they're paying. They're awake. They've woken up.
Yeah.
And I want them to wake up.
Yeah.
Like, wake up.
Yeah.
I have one follow-up and then a new question. Based on what you've learned both with Delicious Life and then with your previous book coaching, what are some best practices for just coaching programs in general that you've learned and practiced?
You mean that I've bought or that I've done? Which way?
Preferably what you've done,
that I've done. Well, my coaching groups were always small. They were like 7 people. I just can't do the big, Zoom with book coaching. It was impossible. It's hard to compare the models, because with Delicious Life, I can share like a mantra and a mindset, and people can chime in if they choose. Book coaching, you're talking about their writing. You're talking about their paragraphs, their sentences. You're talking about their mental blocks. You can't even cover 7 people in 1 2-hour period, right? So it wasn't a sustainable model. And I felt like book coaching groups that were big, I just was like, no, I don't think it works. I'm not doing it. It just didn't feel like an integrity for me.
Yeah, the reason I ask is because I have my own coaching program where I'm working with like musicians primarily. The secondary market is authors, but it's primarily musicians, and I'm always trying to make changes or shifts. So I'm just listening to you to figure out like what I can learn.
How many people are in your group?
So that's the problem. I've had people come in at the top level, which is the done for you solution, but the middle level where it's one-on-one coaching, and then the group level is basically empty, and I'm struggling to get people in there. And so that's what I've been working on all summer. We're really, the last kind of 5 or 6 months trying to figure out what I can shift to make it more appealing and fill it up. Or do I just focus on the top level and not even worry about the group or the individual?
Yeah. I mean, I offered something to get my group that touched upon an emotional pain. It wasn't even books. It was like, so you think you want to write that book. And then we didn't even barely write over 8 weeks. We just talked about writing for 8 weeks. Yeah. And around midway through that, I had identified the people ready to roll.
Yeah.
And I signed them before the 8 weeks were over. And then they influenced 3 other people to sign.
Yeah.
So I put them into private.
Yeah.
Then I was like, I don't have the bandwidth to get another group. So then I built a funnel where, you do the webinar, and I went and did Facebook ads and Instagram ads, and I spent $20,000 on this thing.
Whew.
0.
Whew.
Zero people came.
Wow.
Really?
I thought I had a proven model.
Right.
I had 50% turnover.
Hmm.
That's sales. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So I thought, I'm going to bring that out. It was an SBA loan that got forgiven. So thank God I used it for the right reason.
Yeah.
I used it to promote my business and do my business.
Yeah.
And I did get it forgiven, thank God. But I would never do that again because book coaching, being an artist, being a writer, people are just clicking on free $7, and then they don't show up, and then they don't follow through. I don't know. It just seemed to me like a model like that, you'd have to have a business that's in the millions for it to work.
Yeah, that's interesting feedback, though. That's good.
Hi, friends. Guess what? Did you know that when you click subscribe, you just hit it? It's such a fast little tip. Tap, tap, tap. You hit subscribe for our podcast, either on YouTube or on the platform that you're listening on. It is free. It doesn't cost you anything. I know a lot of times when we think subscribe, it costs something, but it doesn't. And it helps us so much because when you subscribe, we show up in more people's feeds. And when we show up in more people's feeds, we get to help more people have greater and better adventures in business. So if you can hit subscribe on the platform that you're watching or on YouTube, that will help us, but it also helps so many more people. The other fun thing is that when you hit subscribe, then our next episode automatically shows up in your feed and you don't have to search for us anymore. So can you do us a solid? Hit subscribe and join our Adventures in Business movement. Thank you.
Okay. My second question is, it's time to flip the script.
Okay.
So now you get to ask both myself and Mandi any question you like. Nothing is off limits. So
all right.
Who do you want to ask the question to first, and what is said question?
Okay, I'm going to ask Mandi. I have a question for Mandi, and then I have a question for you, Amani, and they're different questions based on who you are, okay?
Awesome.
So for Mandi, have you ever been to a psychic or anything close to a psychic about your business?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Say more.
Okay.
Say more.
So, I grew up with my mom bringing psychics into our house, and I grew up going to psychics. So I'm a big fan of the psychics. I have tarot cards. I can't read them. I don't know how to read them. I also am I am a very open person. Like anytime somebody dies anywhere near me, they come visit me in my dreams. I have a conversation. I am very open to this. So I actually saw a healer 3 times about my business, she was like a virtual healer. And it's awesome. It's awesome. I actually have a client. I have a sales coaching client. I do sales coaching. So I have a sales coaching client who she sees a business psychic twice a year. And this person I saw wasn't a business psychic. She was just a healer, but my questions were very focused on my business, and she's right every time. Every time.
That's amazing.
Really?
Every time.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's so good. I mean, I've been told I'm double psychic, that I don't use it as much as I should.
Yeah.
And I've been tapping into it more lately, and it's really, it's good. Like you kind of realize you're like, oh, I get it. And I just saw a psychic recently for the first time in 22 years because I parked outside her house to go to the LACMA Museum. And I was like, okay, this is not an accident. And we spent 2.5 hours together. I didn't ask a single question. She just was like, in conversation with me.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And she told me things about my future and my business that are just, I'm like, what? So I'm open. I'm open.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that, because people think that stuff is wackadoo, and it's not.
It's not. I also believe in like everything should be open. Like, you know, I will talk to the driest person about money. I will talk to the most wackadoo person about feelings, emotions, thoughts. I just think there's all these different ways to experiment. But I will say this, Kim, when I met you, when I meet other people that I feel have like a spiritual connection like that, my palms start vibrating a little bit. And when I met you, I was like, oh, she's got like a special energy. I felt that when I met you, when we spent time together that day. So it doesn't surprise me that you saw a business psychic, but I think you probably have more energy to give as well. I would agree. I would agree with the business side.
And this has been part of the gatekeeping, right? Is that I have been empathically sucked off, and I've had to learn over the years to be very careful with what I take in, right?
Yeah.
So now I'm like, well, I'm gonna use that psychic energy for like some good,
good.
Yeah, for good, right? Okay, so Amani, my question to you is, since I'm gleaning that you're a DJ and a musician and all that, but you're also a coach, what did your 7-year-old self fantasize about becoming?
7. Let me think here. 7, we're in the second or third grade. I think back then it was, I'm closing my eyes so I can take myself back to that time. I think back then it was being a chef. I think that's what it was initially, but DJing was close behind it because in 5th grade I was actually doing stuff and writing stuff down about DJing and breakdancing because it was big back in those days. So I want to say it was being a chef at that moment in time.
And what influenced you?
I would say my family, like my mom could cook pretty well. My aunts could cook extremely well. So getting exposed to them, especially at like Thanksgiving, Christmas, 4th of July, the picnics, the holidays, and they would just make these amazing dishes. I was like, ooh, I like that. And then soon after, I realized I was too selfish to be a chef. I didn't want to cook for all those people all the time. So that dream quickly disappeared.
So it's interesting just to remember sometimes the feeling it gave you, though.
Yeah.
Without without thinking you have to serve others.
Right.
And just remember the feeling, because that feeling is possibly something you need to tap into more.
Got it. Okay. Now, my final question for you is, if we go back and talk to Kim as you're finishing out Canisius, that's where you went, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
How'd you know that?
Do a little research. It's on LinkedIn, but do a little research. There you go.
Okay.
Monty's a creeper.
Oh,
in
wow.
a good way.
A good creeper.
New Jersey, right? That's in New Jersey, right?
No, Canisius is in Buffalo, New York.
Buffalo, New York. Okay, Buffalo.
Yes.
So, okay. And we're talking to Kim based on everything you've learned so far in life. What advice would you give the younger version of yourself?
That was really good that you didn't trust OJ Simpson, because I was with him in an interview alone. Okay, so I knew there was something really wrong with that dude. It was way before anything happened. No, I jest, but that was a really crazy thing that happened to me at Canisius, hanging out with him. What would I tell my younger self? I would say, follow your passion, and the money will come.
Okay. Mandi.
I mean,
enough said.
Can we get a quick follow-up question about the OJ? What happened there?
He was doing promos for the Buffalo Bills, and my internship was at a video company. I was the only media major at the school.
Wow.
So I got the only internship in Buffalo, and they did a lot of sports. So we went to Buffalo, the stadium, and we did an interview with him. And the whole time I was just like, dude, like, you wore blue suede shoes to, like, it's winter. And he didn't have his lines memorized, and I had to do the cue cards. And then we went to the locker room, and I was left alone with him. I'm not going to tell you what he said.
Yeah, it's for the best. But that's where that intuition.
But I got my entire body went, what? And I remember saying to the guy that was there with me, I'm like, do not leave me alone with him ever again. That's just a no. That's just a no. And I was all of 20, 21. Yeah.
But it's a great lesson on listening to yourself. And we lose that, like you said, we lose that over time. And you've got it, you heard it, and it was right. And we got
I wasn't getting in the limo with that guy.
Yeah.
There's no way I was going out partying with that dude.
Yeah. Well, you talk a lot about the formidable power of nature when you're looking to recover from something. And I know so many women, especially, whether they're having hard times with their kids, or they're in the sandwich generation and they're working through stuff with their parents, whether their parents are in dementia, or they've passed, or they can't do what they used to do, or they're going through a divorce, or they're changing careers. I just feel like we're at this age in the 40s and the 50s. We have all these things. So women or people in general that are going through this form of recovery, what should we be looking for in nature?
Okay, I'll give you an example. Like, you want to stay curious. Like, we think we've seen all the nature. We've seen the grass, we've seen the trees, we've seen the ocean, we've seen the this, we've seen the that. It is so not seen because we're changing every single day. So the way that we absorb nature is different today than it's going to be tomorrow. And I was on my deck last night and I looked up and I saw a bird go by and I was like, holy crap, birds fly. Like, it's like it hit me in the wildest of, I'm like, these things are just flying around the planet. Like, I had never, I'm like, pigeons, the seagulls are so dark. And I saw this bird and I was like, that is so cool. So if you can take a step back and look at like a tree you might have looked at 42 times and just tapped in and said, I really need to, maybe I need to just stay curious about what's around me on this planet. It'll give you a little like, okay, not everything's so bad today. Not everything's so bad. Birds are flying. Like, that's pretty freaking cool.
It's pretty cool. Yeah. It's funny because I go outside my backyard for a break and I'll sit there and I'll look up at the hill. I'm looking right now, and it's like sometimes I'll see like a leaf blowing away. I've never seen it before, and I'll be like, wow, like I didn't even know the leaf could go that way. There is something about that where it's like all of a sudden your mind is open to perspective where it wasn't before. Yeah, it is formidable.
Yeah.
You've spent almost an hour with us, and your time is crazy valuable. So how can we support you and lift you up the way you've supported and lifted us up by being with us today? What is something we can do for you?
That's really sweet. Well, I'm really proud of my new website, liveyourdeliciouslife.com. And it's just like, I'm really proud of it. I took down my book coaching website, which was like and I launched my Live Your Delicious Life website. And I was like, whoa, that was a day. Okay. And I'm really proud of it. You can sign up for my newsletter there that comes every Tuesday. You can see my events there. I mean, it's just, you can find me on Instagram and Facebook there. And it's the hub. So I just want people to go to the hub and just tool around and see if something speaks to you.
liveyourdeliciouslife.com.
Yeah.
All right.
I love it.
Put it in the show notes.
Yeah.
Thank
you very much for appearing with us, sharing wisdom. I think we have more questions about many things. We'll have to have you back, but just thank you for part one, as we'll say.
Part one.
That's great.
And we'll put you in the green room. Stay right there in the green room. Hold on. All right. Mandi, we have another episode. Oh, we didn't give a round. So round of applause for Kim.
Round of applause. Yeah, we didn't clap for her. Way to go, Kim. That was great. That was awesome.
Yes. Pardon my manners. Another strong, fun episode in the books. Make sure if you're watching or listening that you rate and review the podcast on the platform you're watching or listening on. Please subscribe to us on YouTube. And with that, we will see you next time for another episode of Adventures in Business Live.
Thanks for being here, Kim. You made us a better lady and man today. We appreciate you. Bye, everybody.
Yes. Bye.